Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done the podcast. But guess what? Your boy is back. Like I said, it's springtime, and spring represents a resurrection season. That which was once dead gets resurrected. The podcast, back in the days, it may have seemed like it was a dead issue, but here we are. We're back again. We're better. We're here to present to you something called Pathway to Power. I'm here this evening with the event host, my brother, none other, Mr. Gerald Rodgers of True Insights. And tonight we're going to do a nice deep dive into, what the event is about. What does it represent? Who's going to be involved? We're going to give you some insight on how you can get involved. We're going to talk about Gerald. We're going to talk about his background, how we met, how we know each other, how we connected, and how this whole thing came to life and how it came to fruition. So with that, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Pathway to Power is something that's very near and dear to my heart because I have a purpose and a passion for community. I have a heart for my people. I have a heart to see my people set free, to see them liberated, to break chains, to break generational curses, and to release them into freedom. And I'm going to tell you, my tagline and my slogan is now, right, Jerry? We came to bring what the churches ain't preaching and what the schools ain't teaching. There's a middle ground to this thing that enables you to have a level of success that you're not going to get from just either one of those different dynamics or those trains of thoughts. So, with Pathway to Power, man, we're bringing you everything from building better habits, mindset renewal, self-care, physical fitness, going into financial literacy, life insurance, trading and investing, real estate, all this underneath one roof. So at this time, I want to take an opportunity and I want to introduce you to my man, Gerald Rodger. Gerald, go ahead, say what's up to the people, and let's kick this interview off, brother.
What's going on, people? Thanks for tuning in. George, thanks for having me. And thanks for choosing me as the host to this amazing event, Pathway to Power. Just to kind of give you an idea, I'm somebody God kept, shaped, corrected, and positioned to serve. I'm a husband, a father, a builder, operator, and a believer who has grown through the streets, the boardroom, and the community. And it's now time to prepare for what God has already aligned. Me and George go, way back, just kind of giving them a foundation. If you don't mind, George, if we can jump right into it. Our connection was rooted in the foundation of Agape Love Multi-Purpose Center in Middletown. That's where we were poured into, corrected, covered, and prepared for the road ahead. What started in that space was bigger than friendship, bigger than even brotherhood. It was preparation for purpose. So I'm grateful because of our lives had different chapters and we went our separate ways, but God kept us connected through the same assignment to reach people, especially young people, before they get lost in the same cycles we had to fight our way out of. Everything started if you want to talk about journey as far as where it started, it's inception, right? I was born in Brooklyn. Most of us get influenced whether you are born rurally or in the city. I was able to be afforded parents that cared and wanted to break the cycle of living in the city, living in an apartment, and buying a home upstate in Goshen. When I was young, around 6 or 7, me and my older sister, my mother and my father, we moved to Goshen, New York. And like a lot of young men, my teenage years had some detours, smoking weed, drinking, staying out late all night, running with my boys that George, that we mutually know, Aaron, Mark, some others in Middletown, Newburgh, being influenced by the environment around me. But in the end, it got to a point, and George, if you recall or not, the real transition in my life was when I got caught up with a crew out in Soundview, Bronx, with a Jamaican crew called Lifestyle Crew. And I got caught up with stealing, drugs, and they wound up catching me, tied me up in their apartment, had me in there, put a butter knife on the stove for about 15 minutes, put it on both of my palms. I still have the scars to prove it. and I was literally dead. They told me that they had a cousin that was in Rikers. He was getting out. And for anybody that's in prison to get out, it's a big process. So morning turned to literally night that same day. And they just had me tied up, punching me. And I could see a Jamaican Jesus on their wall in their apartment. And at that time, I didn't know about God or Christ. My mom and my dad, they weren't really, saved, or they didn't really bring me to church. I knew nothing about God, but just the simple that I knew there was Jesus. So anyways, I said to that painting at the time, and I said, if there's a Jesus, if you can get me out of this, I'll serve you for the rest of my life. And lo and behold, their cousin came out and he looked at me, and it was the Spirit of God that kept me. And he said, it seemed like you got caught up. You don't really want to get caught up. This is not really you. So we're not going to kill you like we normally do, but we're going to let you pay off the debt that you've, stole from us. So after a week or two, I wound up connecting with Pastor Dillard, who was a former pastor at Agape, who I came to know from Aaron and Mark's mom, Sister Donna, their mother, who was going there and fellowshipping there. So I went there one night and I told her, I'm done. I don't want to go back. I don't want to sell weed anymore with these guys. I just want to get out. Just want this to be over with. So right then and there, when I went into Pastor's house, right in her little side room, if you know, George, if you knew that praying room she was in. Yep. She led me to Christ. And I remember how she said it. Because she said, repeat after me. And I was just repeating. And the Spirit of the Lord had quickened and said, it just seems like you're just repeating. You got to mean this thing. So I meant it with all my heart. I poured it out, gave my life, started fellowshipping at Agape, and literally I saw my life transformed. I got married at a young age, had 4 boys. Unfortunately, later on in my early 20s and going into my 30s, I was still growing, George. And that's when we connected at Agape. I was still, I had zeal without knowledge. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was doing more damage with my mouth than just listening and learning and observing and learning by trial and error, thinking, that I knew it all. Still had that arrogance about me. You know what I mean, George?
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, fast forward, 30s, was a culmination of basically the last 10 years where I made mistakes in my marriage with my son's mother. We wound up getting divorced. And then in my mid-30s, I got remarried, been married for 11 years with Tara, who you met several occasions. And God has been faithfully through every season ever since. Just to jump in, George, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but jumping into True Insight was a blessing in disguise, not knowing that it was setting us up for divine reconnection. Because again, as I told you on Sunday, if it wasn't for the event that we hosted, honoring Mayor Harvey and them and having you speak that first time, it was just, hey, I'm here. I'm still in the faith. I'm still in the trenches. And you saw that. Oh, Jerry, you're working. Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, but I need builders, and I need builders who I can trust. And come full circle moment, this last one that we had in November, we honored you as truly a community enforcer of your mission and our mission of how I believe Pathway to Power got birthed. Yes, so sir. It's a full circle moment at this point. I'll bring it back to you.
Yes, sir. No, I think that's very interesting. And this is, like I say, Pathway to Power is a for us, by us event. Like, these is dudes that come from the trenches. These are people from your own backyard, from the Hudson Valley, that are coming to share their experiences, share their knowledge, share what they've learned, and impart some wisdom into our community. Because even though we come from those backgrounds, we've been fortunate enough to be able to transcend our environment. Like you talked about where you grew up and how you grew up. And a lot of times we don't understand that the results that we're getting in our life are a part of environmental conditioning, where there's either information being withheld or a lack of information circulating within those environments that can, influence our mind to point us to the things that I believe that, where we're connected on this. You understand what I'm saying? Because you've been through what you've been through. My followers and my people know what it is that I've been through. And there's people in our communities that are out there that are suffering, that are going through it, especially the young people, because that's my heart. And a big part of the reason that, we're doing the community summit now is because now we want to just go from impacting the next generation to empowering families. We want mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, young and old alike, to be able to get a hold of this information, because once they're on the same page, now they can move in the same direction. How can two walk together unless they agree? So for us to be able to teach the kids and then have them go home to a situation where the parents don't have this information, this language, these skills, or these resources, is almost making it, just as difficult as if we never even showed up. So now this is us taking our gift, our experiences, our resources, our networks, putting it together. Like he said, we're building something. He said he wanted builders around him that he can trust. Me, as I began to expand my vision, that's the same thing I prayed for. God, send me helpers that I can trust. People that are of one heart and one mind, that only want to serve you and honor you and see others benefited by it. This ain't a money grab. This ain't a money play. This is really for the people. This is a sacrifice that we're doing right now and putting our first event together. Eventually, it's going to grow and it's going to, but for right now, this is a sacrifice. This is a mission. This is a battle. This is something that we're executing on, a vision given to us by God to be able to go out there with nothing only but faith. We didn't have no resources starting out.
That's a fact.
Fortunately enough for us, we have people in the community that are starting to partner with us, that see the vision, that want to be a part of the vision, that feel called to the vision, that are connecting with us, because it truly has to be a community effort in order to bring forth the healing that we need inside of our neighborhoods and in the lives of our people. And how else can we do that lest we have gone through what it is that a lot of our people are going through, unless we have suffered, you know what I'm saying? Some of the things that our people have suffered. And I thank you for being so transparent, in your introduction, and letting people know the reality of who it is that you are as a person, that you are as a child of God, sharing your ups and your downs, your highs and your lows, your bumps and your bruises, your journey and and you know what I'm saying? Your path to power, your path to Christ, and how there's people that have come alongside you and have helped you and have coached you and have mentored you and have poured into you, and how it's only multiplied the gift that's on the inside of you, that's positioning you right for where you are today. And you bring up Pastor Dillard, man, I just want to take the time out and I want to honor that woman. I want to honor her for the investment that she made in our lives so many years ago, because it wasn't just us. There were so many other individuals that came into that house that were broken. And not only did she give us the love and the comfort and the guidance, but she also gave us that discipline and that correction. She did not play. You know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the accountability to have somebody to see something in me when I was fresh out the streets, you know what I'm saying? Selling drugs and getting high and doing whatever, to see something in me and to speak into my life and to see it come into fruition some 20 years later. Like that's what's blowing my mind about it. Like, we were pups. We were babies in the faith.
Yep.
And here we are now, you know what I'm saying? Setting out to impact our community on a greater level, seeing the mercy, the grace that God has given us over our lives to keep us out of the streets and put us into corporate settings.
Yep.
I think about back in the days, this ain't the first time that we did it. When I was with WFG and one of our speakers that's going to be coming, Marcel Dufo, who's with Transamerica, who's going to be leading and speaking on financial literacy, as well as the power of life insurance to build generational wealth. Like, I remember we had that encounter there.
Exactly.
And we was in Chinatown.
Exactly.
And, you just had the opportunity because, we just announced that Gerald and, True Insight is going to become a partner with the Mindset Makeover. And they're going to be coming on to where they're going to be handling, the process of talking to the schools and, setting everything up. So that way I can focus on connecting with the students and teaching. That's what community collaboration and strategic partnerships is all about. And we're going to show the world how to be able to transform communities by being able to link up together. Because when you look at the word community, you see unity. coming together. We have to be unified. And the world is strictly, it keeps trying to divide us with so many different things. We're separated on so many different planes. But we're going to show the world what it looks like when people come together. The impact and the level of influence that we're going to be able to have in the lives of the people inside of our community. Jerry, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Why do you think that having conversations like these matter in a time like today?
Simply because we're in the last days, and you could see it, how the mindset of our youth and how the youth are treating life like it's purely nothing, like an ant on the road, or a cockroach that you just squash on your countertop, that it's worth nothing. And you could see that especially here in the city. After, again, me and my son's mother had gotten divorced, I moved to the city, been here for over a decade, and in Queens and Jackson Heights, Queens, and throughout the boroughs, especially post-COVID, you see a lot of homelessness, and they're getting younger and younger, George. I saw about a week ago, I was heading to a meeting. She looked like a baby, George, and she had a baby in her arms. Now, some people might say, hey, she's kidding around, but she didn't smell like she was kidding around. You know what I mean, George?
Yeah.
There's a difference. If you smell and you don't have a stench about you, maybe, but she had a stench. And I can just, God forbid, imagine, how the baby smelled, because it was coming from her direction. I mean, what is money going to do? No, it's the mindset.
Yes, sir.
So when you ask me, why now? Why not now? In fact, it should have been previously. The children are our future. And if we don't correct them now, they won't no longer be a generation alpha or any generation beta for that matter. Because as I said, babies are having babies and they don't have any stability or guidance, no direction, and no capital or resources to understand that they can get out of that broken cycle that they may have experienced through their parents or their grandparents. We're here to break the cycle, and the time is now, George.
And that's one of the things that I say, like, when you're about this life, you're going to spend time in the trenches. You're going to come up against some things. You're going to see some things that are going to burden your soul. Like me, there's some things that I seen when I was working in the juvenile justice system. Hearing these kids' stories, seeing them locked behind doors, seeing kids acting out, lost, lonely, forgotten, broken, going into the schools, hearing these kids' stories, seeing them act out, listening to their why, understanding what it is that's driving them and causing them, to conduct themselves in certain types of ways, and understanding that it's something that can be fixed. Like, there's information out there that can literally reshape and reprogram a person's whole mindset. That's why we came up with the mindset makeover, becoming a pro. Learning how to master your understanding your personality, developing emotional intelligence, understanding the psychological needs that we all have humans have to be filled in order to have a fulfilled life. How to have a positive outlook, through techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy and understanding what a growth mindset is versus a fixed or limited mindset, and raising their awareness, giving them an opportunity, opening them up, giving them a moment or a chance just to be able to see life from a different perspective. Because I understand that the vast majority of what we're dealing with comes from programming. A lot of what we see, a lot of what we're dealing with is still systemic. And that's what we're fighting. That's what we're fighting against. Like when the Bible says the world system.
Yep.
There's a system that has been designed for people that come from where we're coming from. And I'm not talking color, because there's blacks, Hispanics, white people. Like, if you come from from poverty, if you come from the ghetto, if you come from underserved neighborhoods, you're all lumped in the same class.
Yep.
They don't even see you as a separate color or entity or identity anymore. They just see you as them people from over there.
Yep.
And the beautiful thing about it is, though, that there's enough people on the other side now that want to make a difference, that want to make a change. And they are the ones that are opening up the doors and giving us the opportunity to be able to come in and share our gift. Why? Because we have the real world experience. Why? Because our heart is connected to the mission. That's one of the things, man, that, that has a very, it's very influential when it comes to the people that we serve, when they know that you care, when they can hear that you can identify with what it is that they come from, what it is that they've been through, and what it is that they're going through.
Right.
And it opens up the door. The Bible says that we overcome by what? The word of our testimony and the blood of the Lamb. And that's all we're really doing with this event. We have a lot of gifted, talented people that are in our communities that are putting in the work every day, that are out there, that are being positive, that are putting out quality information. And you know what? Nobody's really giving them a stage. And I've been to conferences like this, and they've changed my life. They've impacted my life significantly. And I'm like, man, what if we could only bring this to our people? What if we were to start having these level of conversations inside of our community instead of worrying about the basketball game, the football game, who knocked who out at the club last night, what Jordans is coming out. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's like, okay, yeah, that stuff had its time and its place, but we're grown now. And now we have a responsibility because there's generations coming up after us. There's people still in my family that are still broken, that are still hurting, that haven't been able to break free and transcend past what it is that we've been through. So now I'm trying to be an example. I'm trying to live my life as an example for others to see what is possible. And that's what Pathway to Power is all about. That's why it's important that we have these conversations, real people having real conversations about real situations. And the information that we're going to be bringing you is super, super valuable. So just to let me, give them a little insight on what we're going to be talking about, man. We're going to be talking about mindset renewal. What's it say? What's the Bible say? How are we transformed, Jerry?
By the renewing of our mind.
By the renewing of our minds. That's where it starts. So, when we talk about mindset renewal, that's literally us going in there and being like a gardener, man. We got to till the soil.
Yep.
We got to break up the fallow ground.
Yep.
We got to get rid of the weeds, the sticks, the rocks, and anything out that would choke out that good seed.
That's right.
Mindset renewal. From there, we got my man Joshua Gill, Go Elite. Check that boy out. He's doing his thing, man. Yeah, that dude is, man, he's just a phenomenal individual. I just had him with me in the Middletown schools, and man, the kids loved him, and he was extremely, extremely powerful. He's going to be talking about how to build better habits, which is important. We have Janelle Santana of JS Self-Care, who's going to be talking about the value and the importance of self-care and substance recovery. Somebody whose mission is driven by her father being an addict.
I love it.
You understand what I'm saying? Physical fitness. We got my man Christian Palmer, who was a pro bodybuilder.
Shout out to Chris.
And he's from Washingtonville.
Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? And I met this dude in Connecticut.
Look at that.
At the Awakened events. And Jerry just came down to Awakened events. Welcome to the community. You're gonna be a real asset to the team, bro.
Glad to be on board.
I can tell everybody already loved you yesterday, man. So
glad to be on board.
Excited to work with that. But through our network, we build connections. And to meet Christian and to understand that he was from Washingtonville, it blew my mind. But I'm talking about this dude is super knowledgeable when it comes to the science behind our bodies and what we eat and understanding our levels, our hormonal levels, and how to go ahead and make the adjustments and physical fitness, and then how that pertains to your mindset, your discipline, your habits, and the results that you get. Phenomenal speaker, phenomenal individual. Then we have, like I said, financial literacy, life insurance, Marcel Dufo. That's my guy right there, man.
My guy.
Yeah,
Marcel, shout out.
Marcel is a good dude, man. And I met him through Pastor Helen Davis.
Wow.
Who came here. God rest her soul. She recently passed away. Another beautiful soul, another beautiful pastor that had a significant impact on my life as well. But, and that was her. She invited him to her church to be able to bring this information to her congregation.
Full circle.
About financial literacy and about, life insurance.
Yep.
Simple things.
Yep.
That you would think that everybody would have or everybody would know that. Unfortunately, we don't. Then after that, we got trading and investing with my man Jamil Supreme, Coach Jamil. Another
Shout
dude,
out to Jamil.
Played football with him since Pop Warner days, Middletown.
Wow.
Matter of fact, Jamil was my first guest on 52 Tuesdays when I did the podcast.
That's a fact.
And, Jamil, he went to Elon University, worked for JP Morgan, and now he's doing his own thing, got his own community, got a nice API platform where you can mirror his trades, like, really into the technology on this thing. He has a curriculum, has a course, so he's going to be able to provide a tremendous amount of value as it pertains to understanding investment, the basics of investing and the basics of trading. And then we have a real estate segment as well, teaching people on the different pathways to be able to get into real estate, the different things that are available. It would blow your mind if you understood how many different programs are out there, how many different type of mortgages and how they're structured from people from different settings. Like the pathway to home ownership really isn't that hard once you understand the metrics that you're being measured by, and once you understand the steps that you got to take in order to qualify to get a home. But there's a tremendous amount of programs out there, different pathways that you can go for home ownership. And, home ownership and life insurance are two of the most basic, bottom of the structural pyramid when it comes to building financial wealth, because there's ways that you can leverage that. And we're going to talk about that inside of Pathway to Power, understanding the power of leverage, So, this is what we're bringing you guys. This is what we're bringing you guys. And, it's a free event. It's June 6th in Newburgh at the Armory. It's going to be going down. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have raffles. We got a ton of different vendors that are going to be there. I just want to take the time right now, if I may, to shout out a couple of our confirmed vendors. We have Created for Purpose, my brother Oscar Boria, who does the custom clothing line and T-shirts, who I'm also working with to begin to start a support group here in Port Jervis for substance abuse and people that are dealing with those issues. And we're going to host that here in the barbershop. And we're actually going to be working on that project together. So that's why I say, the people that are involved, what we're doing extends way beyond Pathway to Power. We're in the streets every day. We're working every day. We're moving every day. We're trying to find different ways to be able to connect and impact our community every single day. We live this, we eat this, we breathe this. This is just what we do, is who we are. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got Esther Barbosa with Girls with Swords. And she's actually going to be doing a breakout session for young ladies called Let Her Rise. And the reason why we're having that is because so many times when I go and I mentor and I talk in the schools, I'm so grateful that I have my lady with me everywhere I go, Kelly, because when we're there, it's usually the young ladies that open up first, that come and I really don't know what to say to them. I know how to pray for them and I know how to speak as a father would. But, it's important to have a woman there that can speak to the issues of these young ladies because, our queens are broken, man. Our little princesses, man, they're out there and they're broken. So she's going to be doing a breakout session called Let Her Rise. Also, we have Chip Murray and Train 'em Up. And Train 'em Up is another organization that I partnered with this year, just like True Insights. And what Train 'em Up's goal is to do is to get student-led Bible studies into the schools. Nice. They understand the legal framework behind it and how to navigate that process. And as I go into the schools, what we're doing is we're identifying kids that are believers that want to have an impact, and we're getting behind them. We're helping them start groups, teaching them how to become leaders, how to lead groups, offering them the support material and whatever it is that they need in order to get a group up and running. So that way they can go ahead and they can reach their generation, with us giving them the support that they need. We have a couple other people that say they want to be vendors who haven't confirmed yet, but the doors are open. We are looking for people that want to partner with us on this mission. Like I said, this ain't a money grab. This ain't a money grab. We cover expenses. We're happy. You know what I mean? Because then it's on to the next project.
Right.
It's on to be able to capitalize on the spin-off opportunities that come as a result of us collaborating and coming together and then focusing on how can we make this bigger and better, and then impact another community with the same type of event and the same type of message, So, but Jerry, I want to, that's enough about. I really want to get in and talk about True Insight. Let's talk about True Insight. How did True Insight begin? Who's involved? What's the vision behind that? You want to talk about some of the work that you guys are currently doing in the Newburgh area, and just let people know who True Insight is and the value that they bring to this partnership and this collaboration.
So, True Insight is about changing outcomes before young people get lost to, let's just call it, bad patterns. The organization is revamping its core curriculum in financial literacy and entrepreneurship, but its origin began in mentorship and after-school programming. Under the leadership of Donald Fryer, aka Deke, I've learned so much in the nonprofit space. Mind you, George, my background was more Wall Street financial services. So jumping in on board late November 2022, I saw the mission to help the youth, and that was the center point, our core tenet, to change the socio-dynamic and cycle that these specifically, Newburgh was facing. In communities like Newburgh and across even the Hudson Valley, too many students are being left behind by, as you were mentioning, systems that are not always designed for their success. We see gaps in achievement, attendance, discipline, and long-term opportunity. That makes mentorship and even early intervention critical. So our mission is, again, to offer access to resources, even assets that they don't have, or the access, or they're not even privy to. So it's so crucial that we partner with other organizations within the local community, which brought us to you, again, through your pro and mindset makeover, having, again, already traction within the school. All we're doing is providing that wraparound service, as I was mentioning, that flywheel that we can provide, that insulated. And the reason why I say insulated, George, because when you look at support, you have to insulate the support. Because if the framework has any schisms to it, let's just be real, these kids are going to see right through it. So first, it's foremost, it's connection, right? So True Insight wants to make a connection with these youth by the people that we have on board that have been through the prison system with the school to prison pipeline. It's obviously increasing because of the conditioning, as you mentioned, that is around us through this trap music, through culture that they call, that's destroying our youth, our Black and brown specifically. True Insight wants to be the beacon of hope, George, specifically in Newburgh, to give a pathway, as you will, a bridge to the next generation, so that we can be those, the Bible says, those repairer of the breach, like it said in Isaiah, to repair the breach that's been broken, so that they can break the cycle and become entrepreneurs, become leaders within their communities, so their communities can thrive and not having to succumb to poverties and hoods that we grew up in, George.
Amazing. And that's one of the things, man. It's like, when you have a shared vision, it's easy to align yourself and to partner with other organizations that are moving in the same direction. The Bible always tells us that two is better than one for what, Jerry?
For a threefold cord is hard to break.
Mm-hmm. and double is your reward, right?
Yep.
One will chase 1,000 and two will chase how many?
10,000 to flight.
So that's what we're attempting to do with this, man, with these partnerships and bringing the community together. We want to multiply our impact. We don't want to add to it. We want to multiply it. Our goal is to see change in our communities, and we want to be the ones to be able to bring it forth by partnering, with other organizations inside of our local area, partnering with local government, because we do have their support. There are people in government that we have their support, and they're willing to do whatever that they can in order to get us in front of the people that we need to be in front of to bring forth the change. Like for me, I was able to get into Middletown schools through Chief Awanchu. They're the ones that brought me in and had me do the Middletown thing. They're the ones, the city of Middletown Police Department is the ones that put the paper up for me in order to come into Middletown and open up the doors and to go in and to be able to connect with the students and have the impact that we're having. So there are people out there that really want change, and they're looking for people in the community that are active that they can partner with. It's not the job of government to save us.
Say that again.
It's not the job of government to save us.
That's right.
We have to save ourselves.
There you go.
We have to save ourselves. If we are able to identify the problem, then that means that the solution of the problem has to be able to come from us. Because the awareness to be able to identify means that the same power that gave us the vision to be able to see is going to give us the vision to be able to cultivate a solution. And that's what we have to be. We have to become a solution-based people. Far too often, what we do is we talk about the problem, but never offer any solutions. And you'll find that a lot. You'll see that on social media. You'll see that in casual conversation. People just talking about the problem, but offering no real solutions. And I'd rather fail at attempting something great than to sit on the sidelines and do nothing at all. And that's what this is about, man. That is really what this is about. You was talking about Deacon Donald Fryer. I want to talk about Deke, because listen, I want to give that man his flowers. I really want to give that man his flowers, because Deke is a phenomenal mentor. Yo, Jerry, this man will call me every morning and pray for me before I start my day.
Yep.
If he knows I'm going somewhere, he will call for me and give me traveling mercies.
Yep.
He will call me just to check up on me.
Yep.
He'll also call me 1,000 times to make sure I did what it is that I said I was going to do when I said I was going to do it.
Hold you accountable.
Which I value, because I procrastinate. That's one of my biggest flaws. Like, it may look like I be doing a lot, but like, yo, if y'all really knew how much I procrastinate on things, it'll blow your mind. You know what I'm saying? It'll blow your mind. But I'm grateful for men like Deke.
Yes. Yes.
That would correct you with loving kindness and compassion. Right. A gentle reminder. He's never harsh. He's never, why didn't you? You know what I'm saying? Because I might snap back. You come at me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, my mindset, man, it's like, yo, I ain't got no boss. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do. But Deke, I love you, and I'm grateful, for your example. I'm grateful for your witness. I'm thank you for starting True Insight. I'm thank you for the leadership that you provide to younger individuals like myself and Jerry. I thank you that you're not afraid to check us, that you're not afraid to hold us accountable. I thank you that you do it in love. I thank you that, you're somebody that not only, pours into us, but you pray for us. And man, there's just so much that guy does, man. And in a short amount of time, I've really taken a liking to Deacon. I've really got a sincere love for him, to where, I pick up his call just about every time. It's like, sometimes I'll be busy, but I'm just like, because I know he's coming from a genuine place.
Yep.
And I know his heart behind the mission of True Insight. And he's very, very resourceful.
Right. Speaking of which, I'd love to segue here. Mm-hmm. George, like I had mentioned, I jumped on November of 2022, right? They say first impressions, everything. So we had a group around him, and that group, again, through the transition, with business, unfortunately, we would want people to stay forever, but that's not how it happens in reality. So I've seen the transition, and through it all, God has proven not only his loyalty, but his dedication to my growth, and even to those that I introduced to him. I first encountered him through Mario Stewart, who yep. Again, another brother from Agape under the same fellowship. And he said, he's going to need some help. But Jerry, if you're going to help, you're going to help, And full circle, when I was at the district meeting in Middletown, I think this was 23 summer, we wanted to lay out something, and Ed Lawson was there, another honoree from the first time that you met. Mm-hmm. He said, Jerry, if you're going to put your hand to the plow, you got to make sure that you don't let go. Again, this is biblical principle. And the reason why I was saying it wasn't because of True Insight. It was because the God-given mission that God himself had imparted in Deacon Donald Fryer. And since 2022, you speak of his resourcefulness. Let's also speak of his connection.
Yeah.
In this day and age, George, I believe the supreme currency is not the dollar, it's not gold, it's not Bitcoin, right? It's genuine, sincere relationships that prove loyalty over time, in which you can trust, male or female, doesn't matter, right? Because let's be real, there's some family members we can't even trust as much as friends we call family that we can trust more. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
so
sir.
With that said, I've trust Deke with sensitive information that during my dark periods throughout the time that I knew him, because I had gone through some times, I lost my father, which you knew, back in July of 2024, and it was a tough time for me. And having no mother previous 10 years when she passed, that was a difficult time for me to be, sober and just the awakening of not, having my dad calling me just to check up on me, because I used to always rub it in his face, Dad, we're not all retired, because he would call me when I'm busy at working, say, why don't you give me time? And now that, he's long gone, I don't want to get emotional. I wish I would have gave him the time. Yeah. You see, that's why we can't miss this time, George. And again, when you said he calls, you take his call, because it's better to be present and not regret the time that you had that you took for granted because you were distracted on what the true mission is. And that's what Donald has as far as being a resource. He's given me access to get master classes, how to run a nonprofit. Literally, I was literally just like, Donald, I don't know what to do. And, this nonprofit is a new world for me. I'm trying to set us up and things like that. He'd always calm me down and saying, Jerry, I have someone for that, or I have access to that. Just relax. God's going to provide our needs. And I'm saying to myself, man, this man doesn't understand. You got to work and do this and do that. Under Deke, I've learned literally things come to you, not to be anxious. And the Bible says, be anxious for nothing. But in all supplication and prayer, let your requests be made known. And that's why he's a praying man. And you could see the evidence and the fruits of his life, George, from the prayers. And I'm glad, that God has connected us and connected us, all of us, for a greater purpose and a greater mission. So shout out to Donald. I know he'll hear this, he'll see this. Thank God for him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's one of the things that you talked about. Relationships, genuine relationships as a currency. I wouldn't be at this point where I'm at right now if it had not been for the mentors that I'm connected to the people that have come into my life, that have given me new levels of information, that have actually held my hand, that have walked me along. My first real encounter was, my boy Jose Flores in Florida, Mr. Indispensable. That was my first exposure to the public speaking world, and took me down to Les Brown Academy and had me all over Florida, showing me what it was like to get involved in the space. And my first public speaking class was with him. Then it was with Dr. Delatoro McNeil, who was a Hall of Fame speaker, one of only 8 Black people that are in the NSA Hall of Fame. Wow. Which is remarkable. When I went down there to crush the stage in Tampa, Florida, several years back, gave me the information that I need, helped me gain clarity, get focused. I came back, I started the podcast, launched my book, and started moving in this direction. And then through relationships, through my podcast, I had Jamaica, and how I met Flory, who you just met. Yep. And, Flory has had a significant impact on my life like you wouldn't believe, through her curriculum and her material, you know what I'm saying, with the missing piece, centerpiece, and masterpiece, which has really, helped me become more grounded, gain more clarity, and to be able to position myself for success by giving me the skills and the know-how to be able to maneuver in any given situation. Flory's also the co-creator with the Mindset Makeover. Not only has she been a blessing to me, but she's been a blessing to my girlfriend. She's been a blessing to my daughter, to my other family members, by welcoming my tribe into her community and giving them access to the same level of information, and systems that they can employ in order to gain massive results in their life. And that's why I say that's the value of this summit, because whoever has your ear has your future. Mentorship matters.
Yep.
Whoever you're connected to is ultimately going to determine the direction that your life is going to move in.
That's a fact.
So now this is going to give you access to some of the brightest minds inside of our region, inside of the Hudson Valley, that you can connect to, that already have a visible presence, inside of the community on social media, people that you can reach out and that you can touch, people that you can call upon, people that you can ask questions, people that are willing to become mentors, to be able to help lead and guide those that are serious, because not everybody's serious when it comes to their change and their transformation. Some people are just enamored with the idea of it, but when they realize the work that has to go in and the pain and the suffering that you're going to encounter on your journey in order to become something new, a lot of people aren't willing to die that they may become something new. And that's why I love when the Bible says that you must be born again.
Yep.
That even transcends spiritual, that even transcends like religion or Christianity. For anything that you want to do, you must be willing to die to your old self in order to become somebody new. And that's a painful experience.
Right.
You better be ready.
Right.
But having the right mentors helps.
Yep.
Because they help you navigate that territory. They walk with you on that journey. There are those that have gone the way, that know the way, that can now show you the way.
Yep.
And that's who we are. And all of the people that are going to be coming on the stage that night, all of the vendors, all of the people that are going to be there participating in this event are going to be people with real stories, real testimonies that really have a sincere heart and passion to be able to impact their community. This event is truly for the people. It really is. And I'm telling you, man, who you're connected to matters. Who your mentor is matters. Who it is that is pouring into you, who it is that is filling your brain with the information that you're receiving, that's giving you the results that you get, matters. So this event is really about exposure. You know what I mean? We're exposing people to new concepts, new ideas, new frames of thought, so that way they can begin to move their life in a different direction. And this is a call for everybody that's out there that's watching. Please help us spread the word. Spread the word. This is a free event.
Yes, it is.
There should be so many likes and shares every time we post something about this event, with people getting the word out and reaching out to those in their circle that they know can greatly benefit from this event. Like, people should be sharing this. You should be reaching out to people in your circle. You should be preparing your family to be able to come and be a part of this event. It's free. It's not going to cost you nothing. And not at the same time, not only are we going to educate you, but you best believe we're going to entertain you. We're going to turn up. I'm not a boring dude.
That's for sure.
I'm coming to have a good time. Because listen, it resonates more when you're having fun.
It does. It does.
When you're having a good time, believe me, it's going to stick. We want this event to become memorable.
Yes, we do.
I got my man DJ Mish coming out on the ones and twos. My man DJ Such. They're going to be spinning live on the ones and twos. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have giveaways. Listen, man, this is going to be a dope event. It's going to be 3 to 7, and I mean, it's going to fly like this.
Yes, it is.
We got a live performance by my man Arden Man. Mr. 106 and Park from back in the days.
Let's go.
Christian brother doing this thing. Like, we're gonna make sure you have a good time. So it's not just gonna be one of those things where we're just gonna educate you. No, like, we're gonna educate you and we're gonna entertain you at the same time. This is gonna be memorable. Another person I want to shout out to as well, who I also have a partnership with, is Hope Alive 845 and my man Domingo. They're going to be coming through as well, and they're going to be doing a breakout session. And they're going to be talking about the problem with the runaways and human trafficking and sex trafficking of our young people. Because a lot of people think it's not prevalent in this area, but there's a lot going on inside of this area that we're not privy to, that a lot of these parents, they're going to need to get in this breakout session and start getting some of this information as it pertains to some of the games and the platforms that their children are on, to where it's like a playground for predators, to where our children are being lured away and So, we're gonna be having that as well, man. And shout out to Hope Alive 845 because they're also opening up a lot of the doors for the schools. Fallsburg, Liberty. I was already in Monticello, but now we're going back to Monticello again with them. To be able to continue to work in Sullivan County. So that's why I say Sullivan County, Orange County, Dutchess County next, Rockland County. Like, I want this thing to spread like wildfire.
Yep.
And also if you're out there and if you're in the Newburgh area, I need some of my Newburgh people to get on board with me with this. Yep. I need Newburgh in the building. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want to be in there. I want to hit the music and I want to do the old school chant.
Newburgh in the house. Newburgh.
I need Newburgh in the building, man. So like, if you're watching this and you got peoples out there in Newburgh and you doing your thing out there, connect with your boy, man. Let's link up, man. Let's link up.
Did you ever link up with my boy Rennie? Our boy Rennie from
I got to hit Rennie up, and then I got to hit the other kid up there that's out there as well, Ali. Ali's out there, and he's doing his thing as well with Snug. So then we have Prayer Walk International with Henry Gonzalez, who's a part of Church by the Bridge out there, who they do a lot of things with. So I just got to reach back out to these individuals and get them on board because we definitely want Newburgh in the building. I got to reach out to my boy Rob from Lions Den Barbershop, to get them to come out there, maybe bring a couple of his barbers from the town and just partner with us, man, because, that's what it's about. My man Flo, we are Newburgh. Like, I need Newburgh in the building.
Yes, we do.
We need Newburgh. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to provide the platform. Let's link up, man. Let's take our streets back. Let's take back our communities. Let's take back the hearts and the minds of our people who have been suffering and struggling for far too long. So get at us, man. Let's make this thing epic. Let's show them that we can come together, that we can educate and entertain and have a good time and change the narrative. You know what I'm saying? If we was bringing a rapper and it was a nightclub, boy, trust me, it'd be packed.
Packed house, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's change the narrative. Let's get our minds out the gutters. Let's start moving in a positive direction, a different direction. The information is going to be there. And I'm going to tell you from my own personal experience, all it takes is one piece of information to change your entire life.
That's right.
One piece of information.
That's
one
right.
golden nugget will change the whole direction of your life.
Shift your paradigm, shift your thinking, your perception, and then your knowing. And then the acting comes behind, again, the understanding. And then once that confidence gets built, that, George, it's a repetitive thing. It's a discipline thing to master. And that's why, the pathway to power, it's more than a movement. It's a catalyst. It's a foundation being built in the Hudson Valley, Orange County, as you mentioned, people that are underserved, people that just want access to what everybody else has, but don't know how to go about it. We're going to give you that roadmap. And that's why I love the logo, because it's literally a road to a map of where the destinations for everybody's kind of.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, I got to shout out my girl on that. Baby, you did your thing on that. Kelly came up with the concept.
Love it. Shout out to Kelly. I love it.
No, she's coming up with the structure. She's coming like, behind the scenes. Like, believe me, this ain't just me. Like, my girl, Kelly Lopez, follow her online. Like, when it comes to events, like, she got this thing down to a science. So everything is going smooth because she drew up the blueprint and I'm just running the play.
Support system. You're as good as your support system.
Yes,
Shout out to Kelly for being that great support system, George. I know that's right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you got people working behind the scenes that are contributing on this thing that you know nothing of. And that's why I say it's collaboration. It's all of us working together, man.
Listen, they say if you want to go fast, go by yourself, George. We've been there, done that. What happens? Because we're going so fast, we trip so much, we bust our nose, scrape. We got to get time to go back in the game. And now we're trying to ask people for their help. And we really don't want their help, because once we say we want their help, we go ahead of them. We don't follow basic instructions. We want to circumvent. We want to do it on. We want to add a twist. And that's the problem. Honestly, it takes a true servant to become a teacher, because a student understands what to do to listen, to take in the information, and again, as a mentee, to duplicate it. Again, just to follow the instructions. And it's so hard for us because sometimes we were programmed when we were younger to survive on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to figure it out on our own. So we're programmed. So when someone says, no, follow this instructions, it's hard for us. So just getting that mindset alone and growing out of that is huge. And again, that's what Pathway to Power is going to provide for you. Those one-on-one workshops with the ladies, that's going to be huge. I'm looking forward to, the nutrition and the trading piece. I'm looking forward to all the speakers, George, and putting this together. I know this is going to be one of many, but this is going to be the first original, right? That obviously is going to spread like wildfire. And again, with this comes recognition and getting city support, mayor support, congressman support. Because like you said, it takes a village. So if you want to go fast, like I said, go by yourself. But you want to go far, you got to go with people. It takes a village. It takes a team, and divine connection and relationships is how we all got here. So I thank God for this collaboration with Pathway to Power, this community summit event. I got my peoples coming from Long Island, spread the word in my network, LinkedIn. I'm looking for a good turnout. And yeah, I'm super excited. Can't wait, George. Can't wait.
I'm super excited as well, man. And Jerry, my mindset is this, man, is that if I serve a limitless God, and if I was made in his image and his likeness, I should be a limitless individual myself. I should know no limits. There are no limits to my potential and what's capable or what I'm able to produce. I live my life like that every day. I get up and I think of the impossible and I set out to accomplish it. And I don't stop until I get the results that I'm looking for. And that comes in with that mindset renewal and building the consistent daily habits that are going to produce the results that you're looking for. And one of the things that you was talking about, following instructions, and why is it so hard for people that come from where we come from to simply follow the instructions? I'll tell you like this. If you're building a bridge and the architect draws up the blueprints, if you're even 1 degree off in terms of following the blueprint that the architecture put out for that structure to be built properly and to be able to serve its purpose and function as it was designed, if you're off even 1 degree, that bridge is totally unstable and it's good for nothing. So when people come to you and they say, this is how it's done, follow the instructions, step by step. There's no reason to remix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't go to McDonald's and tell them put some adobo on my burger because you like their burger. You know what I'm saying? You feel me though? Like, I'm not going to Ronald McDonald and saying like, yo, throw some adobo on my burger because that's how Puerto Ricans like. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like a McDonald's burger is a McDonald's burger. They got a formula, they got a recipe that's enabled them to sell billions of burgers. They don't deviate from their process because they know they get predictable results and they know that's what their customers expect. And they know that if you follow the formula, you're going to get the same result every time. So by us bringing you these individuals that have been able to gain a level of success in their life and in their career, when they give you the system, follow the system. This is what we're bringing you. This is what we're teaching you. And we're giving you it in so many different areas. Yep. Whether it's your physical fitness, your mental health, your habits, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your finances, whether it's, you want to get into the, like, whatever it is that you want, we got the answers. Follow the blueprint. Stick to the script.
Stick to the script.
Stick to the recipe.
Stick to the recipe. Straight up.
We're giving you everything that you need in this event. And we've connected with the right people. Everybody has been thoroughly vetted.
That's right.
And when they come in, they bring in value. They bring in that fire to the stage. Promise you, this ain't gonna be no lame event. It'll be anything but lame. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't have my name or my brand attached to something that just, it ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Come out, join us, learn, Partner with us if you're out there. If you have a brand, if you have a business, if you have an organization, or if you're somebody that just wants to do good and you want to contribute, partner with us. We need your help to make this a huge success. We're asking you to partner with us. We're asking you to join us. If you're somebody that's out there in Newburgh and you're a part of the local government, Mayor Harvey, if you know Mayor Harvey, get word to him. We'll get word to him. That's upon the list as well. Like, yo, we're doing things in your backyard. We need Newburgh on board.
Yep.
If there's somebody in this community that can see the problem and you want change, join us and partner with us. Help us help our people. Help us give back. Let's make this as big as possible so that way we can bring forth the change in the lives of our people that we know they deserve. Jerry, we got 1 minute left. You got any closing remarks?
Listen, I'm super excited for the 6th. Thank God for bringing me on, and again, for allowing me to host. It's a privilege. It's an honor to sit side by side with you and to learn as well. I thank God for your impact, what you've been doing in your community, how you're bringing everyone together. This is truly a vision that Pastor Dilla prophesied, and it shall come to pass.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
again.
Yes, sir. My brother, I love you. You know what I mean? I thank you for your commitment to the mission and to the vision. I thank you for showing up. I thank you for honoring excellence. You remember that was one thing that she taught us too. Everything you do, you better do it with
instilled in
excellence.
us.
You know what I'm saying?
Spirit of excellence.
So
Absolutely.
so it's like and I just want to thank you, man. I want to thank you for being a faithful friend. I want to thank you for being a brother. I want to thank you for being there, throughout the years and just being yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And never giving up in spite of whatever life threw at you. You're still on the path. You're still in the journey. You're still in the fight. You're still in the game. You're still on the field. We're going to take hits. We're going to take our lumps, our bumps, and our bruises. But we're not going to quit, and we're not going to give up. We know what we've been called to by God to accomplish. And it, like you said, it shall come to pass. We'll see this through. So, everybody, I want to thank you for tuning in. Remember, join us June 6th at the Newburgh Armory, Pathway to Power from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to be an event that you don't want to miss. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Anything that you see us post, please like, share, and comment. Let's make this thing. Listen, man, that level of support is free. Straight up. You know what I mean? I ain't afraid to ask for it. We need your support in order to make this work. You know what I'm saying? And by doing you by default become a part of the vision and become a part of our success. So we want to thank you for joining us. We love you and we God bless you. I'll see you Thursday night. We got another interview coming. We're going to be every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. So lock in. Our next guest is going to be a surprise, and I promise you're going to like this one too. Stay tuned, baby. Brother, God bless you.
George. God bless you. Peace.
Good job, man.